Hello everyone, and welcome to my B&B Fan Club channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. In the bustling world of Forrester Creations, where fashion lines rose and fell like the tides of romance in Los Angeles, Hope Logan was caught up in a tornado of unexpected feelings. After years of back and forth with Liam Spencer, the guy who had been her husband, ex, and almost wife several times, Hope had finally accepted his proposal once more. The ring on her finger shone beneath the office lights as she looked at it, wondering if this time would be different. Carter Walton, her recent flame, had graciously stepped aside, encouraging her to return her heart to the father of her child. Brooke Logan, ever the meddling mother, had also encouraged it, seeing Liam, Hope, and their daughter Beth together. Beth excitedly pitched ideas for the wedding, such as performing the ceremony herself or having a grand father-daughter dance. Steffi Forrester, Hope's long-standing nemesis, had even extended congratulations, a rare moment of truce in their never-ending rivalry over designs, legacies, and of course Liam. The week of November 17th appeared to be ideal for vows in the Forrester mansion, surrounded by family, with the exception of Sheila Carter, whom Beth had firmly refused to invite. Cracks were appearing beneath the surface of this updated Lope fairy tale. Liam had seemed abnormally distant during outfit fittings and venue considerations. He spent more time peering out the windows or excused himself for work calls that left him pallid and distracted. Hope chalked it up to wedding nerves, the same old Liam rambling she was all too familiar with. Little did she know, a storm was brewing that would destroy everything. It began simply enough on a bright November afternoon. Liam arrived at the Spencer Publications office, where Bill Spencer was yelling commands regarding the most recent headline. Bill's youngest son, Will Spencer, was also present, recovering from the nightmare of Luna Nozawa's deception. Luna, the once sweet intern turned psychotic killer, was in jail, or so everyone thought, after drugging and assaulting Will, killing 2 men at Il Giardino, and holding Steffi captive in a decaying building. Her pregnancy with Will's child had complicated matters, but Electra Forrester, Will's fiancée, had ensured Luna's quick return to custody following a brief house arrest sparked by Bill's remorse at believing Luna was his daughter. Liam paced the room, his hands quivering while holding a manila envelope. "Dad, Will, I can't do this anymore. I have to tell someone." Bill grimaced and poured a scotch. "Tell someone what, son? You're getting married to Hope. This is your happy ending." Liam's eyes welled up with tears. "No, it's not. There's something I've been hiding. Something that could destroy everything." He ripped open the packet, revealing documents and images. Will leant forward, interested. "Liam, what is this?" The confession poured forth like a broken dam. "Luna. She's not just dangerous. Before she was arrested the first time, when everything exploded with the murders and Steffi, Luna and we were involved." Bill's glass slid from his grasp and shattered on the ground. Will's face contorted in fear. "It started innocently," Liam explained, his voice cracking. "She was interning, vulnerable after Poppy's lies. I felt sorry for her. One night, after a fight with Hope, Luna was there, comforting me. Happened more than once. I ended it when I realized how unhinged she was, but she threatened to tell everyone if I didn't help her cover up the drugs she was slipping into Tom's mints and Hollis drinks." Bill's voice exploded. "You slept with that psychopath? The girl who tried to kill my son? Who drugged Will and raped him while he was unconscious?" Liam let out a sigh. "I was weak. Scared. She had proof, texts, photos. When she kidnapped Steffi, I knew bits and pieces but stayed quiet to protect my family. I thought once she was locked up it was over. But now with the wedding, I can't marry Hope with this lie." Will tightened his fists. "You knew she was poisoning people? And you let her near us? Near Electra? She's pregnant with my child because of what Luna did, and you could have stopped it." The conversation became heated, with voices ringing throughout the office. Bill immediately rejected Liam, labeling him a coward who endangered the entire family. "Get out. You're no son of mine until you fix this." Devastated, Liam dashed to Forrester Creations, bursting into Hope's office while she was finalizing invites with Brooke. "Hope, stop everything. We can't get married." Hope's heart sunk. "Liam, what's wrong? Talk to me." He dropped into a chair, sobbing. "Luna, I was with Luna. Intimately. Before her arrest. She blackmailed me into silence about the murders. I knew she was dangerous, but I protected myself instead of warning everyone. Steffi could have died because of me. Will. What she did to him. I share blame. Hope's life was ruined. The ring felt like a noose. You cheated? With Luna? The girl who murdered people? And you knew. Brooke said, covering her lips. Liam Spencer, how could you? Hope's eyes welled up with tears as she realized the truth. All this time you pushed me away, waffled, and it was because of her? Our wedding. It's a lie. Liam asked forgiveness. I love you, Hope. I was terrified. Please postpone the wedding. Give me time to make it right. I'll turn over everything to the police. Help keep Luna locked up forever. Hope pulled off the ring and threw it at him. Postponed? No, Liam. Cancelled. Indefinitely. I can't marry someone who chose silence over lives. Get out. As Liam stumbled away dejected, news broke across Los Angeles. Luna Nozawa, from her prison cell, had heard rumors about Liam's upcoming wedding via smuggled gossip. But now Elektra and Will's social media posts celebrating their transfer into Bill's beach house, the sight of Luna's past nightmares, has pushed her into a rage. Luna glanced at a contraband phone in her cell, focusing in on photographs of Will and Elektra laughing on the beach with the caption "New beginnings in our new home." Her blood boiled. That's my family. My baby. My Will. She slammed the phone against the wall and screamed until security arrived. Luna's emotional collapse turned into a full-blown mania. She fooled a sympathetic prison officer by batting her eyelashes and recounting stories of maltreatment, promising benefits once free. Help me escape, she begged during her visitation. I'll make you rich. Bill Spencer owes me. The guard agreed, convinced by Luna's charms and bribery channeled through Remy, her covert accomplice who was still lurking outside. Plans were devised. A distraction during the transfer, and a fictitious medical emergency. Meanwhile, Hope drowned her sorrows at Il Giardino, which was hosting an open mic night. Deacon Sharp, the bartender, sensed her concern. Taylor Hayes, who was there for a therapy follow-up disguised as drinks, joined her. In an unexpected twist, Hope confided in Steffi via text, and Steffi arrived, the two rivals bonding over Liam's betrayal. I always knew he was weak, Steffi exclaimed, holding Hope. But this? With Luna? Hope asked, tears pouring. Postponed isn't enough. It's over. Across town, Finn shocked Steffi with an unexpected house visit, confirming their love in passionate embraces, candles glowing as they recommitted amid the commotion. Bill, still suffering from Liam's confession, concentrated on hazardous cleanup, literally removing Luna's presence from the beach house before Will and Elektra moved in. But as he dumped away old items, he discovered a hidden note. If I go down, Liam goes with me. Panic set in. Bill faced Liam again, but it was too late. Luna's escape plan was initiated. On November 14th, turmoil broke out during a normal jail transfer, with a staged fight and Remy's smoke bomb outside. Luna slipped away and vanished into the night. Her first goal was the beach home. She hid in the shadows, vowing not to lose Will, and watched Elektra and Will unpack. A photograph of them kissing increased her rage. As Hope nursed her shattered heart, postponing the wedding indefinitely and returning to her line with newfound zeal, Liam wallowed in guilt, fully confessing to Chief Baker. Evidence flooded in, including letters and tapes Luna had sent as extortion. Luna's arrest loomed again, but she was still free for the time being. She hid in motels, conspiring with Remy, fantasizing about rescuing her family. A near miss at the beach home unsettled Will, who sensed eyes on them. Steffi and Finn's romance rekindled strongly, a balm against the madness. Daphne Rose questioned Carter's regenerated heart, but he demonstrated his devotion. Deacon and Taylor had a slow dance at Il Giardino, with sparks flying perilously near to something more, which worried Sheila. Beth, devastated by the cancelled wedding, commanded everyone's attention and demanded family togetherness. Remy whirled off, regretting his role in Luna's plots but unable to leave. Luna used jail whispers and escaped shadows to manipulate guards and plot returns. Bill's remediation failed. Poison remained. Hope, stronger alone, confided in Steffi. No more waffling men. Liam's stunning truth has postponed the wedding, possibly permanently. Luna's arrest? Temporary. Her independence unleashed new terror. As November progressed, affiliations altered. Brooke suspected more secrets. Ridge proposed adjoining compartments for enablers such as previous Bill. Taylor concealed her growing feelings for Deacon. Finn and Steffi made love while murmuring promises. Will and Electra nestled in, unconscious that the predator was watching. Luna promised, "I'll have my family. Or no one will." The world of the bold and the beautiful was on the verge of anarchy. Liam's confession reopened old scars. Hope's postponement ended a chapter, and Luna's arrest was short. Truths erupted like seams under pressure within the sparkling facade of fashion. Hope remade her life as single and aggressive. Liam sought redemption alone. Luna hunted freedom as fiercely as ever. Weddings were postponed, arrests were made, and confessions were shocking. Los Angeles braced itself for the next bomb. Liam sat in the Spencers' living room, surrounded by silence. He'd been holding something within for too long. Something he'd always wanted to say but never found the appropriate time. With Hope's and his own wedding approaching, the weight of his confession felt more pressing than ever. He peered through the photo album on the coffee table, seeing glimpses of memories. Him and Hope smiling, him and their daughter Beth laughing, and moments of family harmony. However, a new truth was simmering beneath the surface. He cleared his throat. He looked at Hope, who was picking through fabric swatches for her new fashion line, attempting to keep things professional and moving forward. But he realized he couldn't pretend any longer. He took a breath. "Hope," he continued, his voice low, "there's something you should know." Hope paused mid-swatch and turned to him, concern on her face. For a brief while the world around them stilled. "What is it, Liam?" she asked softly. He folded his hands on his lap. "I have not been honest with you. With us." He swallowed. She stood from her chair and approached him. The familiar closeness was supposed to be soothing, but it felt fragile now. "I'm not the man I've been pretending to be," Hope said, her face wrinkled. "What do you mean?" Liam looked up at her. "When I proposed, when I asked you to marry me again, I believed things had changed. I believed that I had changed. I thought I could be what you needed." Hope nodded. "But I've concealed something from you. I kept a secret because I was terrified of how you'd respond." Hope's gaze narrowed. "Liam, you're scaring me." He breathed. "I apologize. I should have told you sooner." But when everything appeared to be falling into place, the engagement, our kid, and the future, I became concerned. And I made decisions based on fear rather than honesty. Hope stepped back. The swatches she was holding fluttered to the floor like broken dreams. She asked, "What decision?" Liam's voice crackled. "I didn't tell you, but I was told I had a serious situation. Something life-changing. And I agreed to keep quiet so you wouldn't worry. I didn't want to jeopardize what you and I were building." Hope gazed. The fabric was forgotten. "You had what?" she whispered. He looked away. "This is a diagnosis. Condition. I was told that it was terminal, or at least quite serious. And I let fear freeze me." Hope's eyes widened. "Why haven't you told me?" "Because I wasn't sure what to do with the information. Because I believed I could overcome it and still be the guy you deserved. I loved you too much to burden you." Liam's voice sounded rough. "But by doing so, I betrayed you. I betrayed our trust." Hope was hurt. The wedding, which had appeared so certain, suddenly felt like a shaky promise. She collapsed into a chair, tears forming. "I don't know what to say," she said. "This changes everything." Liam nodded. "I understand. And I understand if you are unable or unwilling to stand by me right now. But I needed to tell you. I couldn't marry you, commit to you, or build our lives on a lie." Hope stared at him for several minutes. Their memories whirled, including lost loves, reconciliations, heartbreaks, and dreams. Finally she spoke. "I thought this wedding would be a fresh start for us. That we were done keeping secrets." He nodded. "I also believed that. But I was holding one of the biggest." Hope's determination weakened. "I need time," she muttered. "I need space." Liam's heart sunk. He nodded. "Take all the time you need." Across town, Hope's mother, Brooke, and Father Deacon were deep in conversation. Deacon had been watching his daughter, concerned. The Spencer-Logan family conflict had always weighed heavily on him, But this time was different. Hope appeared drained recently, as if the excitement of her forthcoming wedding had faded. Brooke pressed him. What is wrong with her? Deacon shook his head. She adores Liam, it's apparent. But she suspects he's hiding something. Something big. Brooke crossed her arms. She deserves the truth. And if Liam can't give it to her. Deacon agreed. Exactly. Hope went through the corridors of Forrester Creations, which was bustling with activity surrounding her fashion line, but she felt disconnected. Her thoughts kept going back to Liam's remarks. How long did he know? What if she had gone forward with the wedding despite this knowledge? Would they have established a life on flimsy grounds? Her phone vibrated. It was Carter, her fiancé. He wanted to celebrate a business deal, but she rejected his call. The engagement band on her finger suddenly seemed heavy. Carter had been supportive and loving, but her conflict with Liam lingered. Could she discard all of her feelings for him as a result of this admission? Or was this an indication she should leave? Hope found herself withdrawing to the design studio, closing the door and browsing through sketches of the bridal line she'd been working on. Wedding gowns, veils, and elegant modern styles. The irony was not lost on her. She was creating clothes for a future she wasn't certain she wanted. She closed her eyes and thought of Beth, the daughter she had with Liam, the life they had planned. He made a pledge. Was the promise still possible? Back on the Logan Spencer estate, Liam sat alone in the garden. He played the exchange over and over in his head. Hope is in anguish. He expressed regret. The fear he'd been carrying. He reached for his phone, paused, and then put it down. He recognized that this confession did more than just affect one moment. It undermined all they were about to accomplish. He considered Hope's future, her brand, her vision, and questioned whether he could still be a part of it. Would she regard him now as someone strong and honest, or as someone weak and broken who hides behind good intentions? Suddenly his phone rang. It was Steffi. He didn't respond. The memories of her interlaced with his life. The incorrect turns, the recurrent cycles resurfaced, but they felt distant today. His concentration was on Hope, on repair. The next morning at breakfast, Hope sat across from Carter. The atmosphere was uneasy. Carter had noted the distance. Hope, he asked gently, are you all right? She gave a tiny smile that lacked warmth. Carter nodded. I'm thinking about the wedding? She took a breath. Yes. He took a step forward. If something has changed, if you are having second thoughts, I want you to know that I am here for you. Hope gazed at him, shocked by his kindness. But internally she was torn. She loved Carter in a calm, steady manner, and he treated her well. Her heart still raced when she thought of Liam. Now his confession loomed like a specter. She discovered the words. I need to postpone the wedding, Carter said, surprised. Postpone? Hope nodded. I believe we need time. I guess I need some time. Carter nodded slowly. Okay. Whatever you need. Hope breathed, relief and terror mixed. She had made her decision, but the road ahead was uncertain. Meanwhile, in another part of Los Angeles, the drama around Luna was intensifying. Luna had been on edge for some time. Her history was dark, and her secrets were deeper than most people believed. And now, as her world crumbled, the repercussions were catching up. Luna sat in a small interrogation room, facing two investigators. The door closed behind them, and the mirror behind them reflected shadows. She looked around, attempting to calm her breathing. The events of the night flashed across her mind. Recklessness, fury, and betrayal. She had been caught just moments before, following a wild episode that injured several persons. The news quickly spread. Luna Nozawa had been arrested. She recalled the moment when it happened. Rage erupted, judgment blurred, and the legal system was engaged. As the detectives began to speak, she closed her eyes, bracing for the consequences. She'd pushed the envelope for too long. Now the game had shifted. Back at the Spencer Logan mansion, Hope was packing a tiny bag. She needed to get away just for the weekend to clear her mind. She called her sister and said she'd be staying at her apartment for a while. Liam discovered her in the foyer. He stopped before speaking. Hope, please let's talk. Hope glanced at him. I can't right now. Liam nodded, his heart sinking. I understand. But I'm here. With a tiny nod, she walked out. Liam watched her leave. He wondered if the stop they were taking would be a permanent hiatus. Luna's attorney arrived at the police station. Her attorney questioned her. What happened? Why was she acting that way? Luna responded haltingly, aware that the optics were poor. She realized she had crossed a line. For years she'd avoided danger and danced on the edge, but being handcuffed changed everything. The implications were genuine. Her phone rang with texts from friends asking whether she was okay and what had occurred. She disregarded them. She had to confront this alone. Meanwhile, Hope sat by her sister's living room window, watching the rain fall on the glass. She tightened her coat around her. She thought about Liam's confession. She thought about her wedding. She recalled Carter's calm support. She thought of Beth and the life she had with Liam. And she thought about herself, who she was and what she desired. Tears streamed down her cheeks, but she did not wipe them away quickly. She let them arrive. It felt necessary, because life had changed. She needed to feel that. After a time, she reached for her phone and dialed Brooke. Brooke said, "Mom, I think I need your help." Her voice was calm and firm. "Of course, darling. Whatever you need," Hope sighed. "I'm postponing the wedding." Brooke was silent for a moment before saying, "If you believe it's right, you must do it. Don't live a life you're not certain of." Hope nodded, but Brooke couldn't see her. "I know." Liam returned home and discovered the wedding invite still on the table. He grabbed one up and weighed it in his hands. He considered the future he envisioned. Families, legacy, and love. But now the invitation felt like a promise he might not keep. He set it down and headed towards the mirror. He looked at his reflection. The man looking back at him had made a confession, exposing his insecurities. However, he also saw someone driven to put things right. He reached for his phone and texted Hope a simple message. "Take all the time you need. I will be here." Then he turned aside, unsure what the next chapter held. At the station, Luna signed documents. The reality of arrest, legal peril, and penalties eventually hit in. She reflected on the individuals she had injured and the lives she had ruined. She recalled her history and the lies she told. She wondered, where do I go from here? Her attorney informed her about bail, hearings, and consequences. Luna listened, numb, the thrill fading. The walls of the questioning room felt small. The future seemed unclear. Over the next few days, Hope and Liam lived in different universes. Hope dived into her job, hoping to find peace in creating. But every time she drew a bridal gown, she saw herself walking down an aisle she might never take. She avoided returning Carter's phone calls, too polite to drive him away, too distant to completely commit. She avoided speaking with Liam, but every time her phone rang with his name, her heart skipped. Liam, meanwhile, poured himself into work at Spencer Publications, attempting to concentrate on business. But every meeting he attended, he sensed Hope's absence. He sensed the echo of his confession in empty rooms. He questioned whether he'd done the proper thing by sharing the truth. He hoped that honesty would set them free, but perhaps it had done the reverse.